You might not realize this yet, but something is shifting in your life right now. Something bigger than the doubts people placed on you, bigger than the setbacks you went through, and bigger than the quiet moments where you wondered if all your efforts were ever going to pay off. Because deep down, you've always felt it, haven't you? That strange feeling that your story isn't over yet, that the chapter people thought was the end was actually just the beginning. Maybe lately, you've noticed something changing inside you. A new kind of calm, a quiet determination, almost like a voice deep within you is saying, keep going, something is coming. And here is the part most people around you don't understand. While they were watching your struggles, while they were whispering about your mistakes, while some of them were even secretly hoping you would give up, you were being prepared. Prepared for something they never saw coming, because what they thought was your downfall was actually the season that would build your strength. And this is where something important begins to happen. You see, there were moments in your life when things didn't work out the way you expected, plans fell apart, opportunities slipped through your fingers, people you trusted turned their backs, and for a while, it probably felt like everything was moving against you. You tried, you pushed forward, you gave it your best, but still, there were days when it felt like nothing was working. And if you're honest, there were nights when you questioned yourself, nights when you wondered if maybe the people doubting you were right. But here's the truth that most people never realize until much later. Those difficult seasons weren't there to destroy you, they were there to shape you. Because when life brings you into the valley, it's not always punishment. Sometimes it's preparation. And something else was happening during those quiet moments when nobody believed in you. Something that most people never noticed at first. Your resilience was growing, your focus was sharpening, and little by little, your mindset was changing. Because at some point, you stopped waiting for approval. You stopped listening to the voices that told you what you could not do. And you started asking yourself a powerful question. Are these people going to build my future for me? Of course not. They weren't the ones putting in the work. They weren't the ones waking up with your dreams in their hearts. They weren't the ones carrying the vision you carry. So their opinions slowly began to lose their power over you. And that realization changes everything. The moment you stop letting outside voices define your limits, you start discovering what you're actually capable of. And this is where another part of your journey begins to reveal itself. Some of the people who doubted you didn't doubt you because you lacked potential. They doubted you because your potential reminded them of something uncomfortable. It reminded them of the efforts they weren't willing to make. It reminded them of the dreams they gave up on. It reminded them of the discipline they avoided. And sometimes, when someone sees another person refusing to quit, it quietly exposes their own excuses. So instead of being inspired, they criticize. Instead of supporting, they underestimate. Instead of encouraging, they hope you fail. Not because you deserve it, but because your determination makes them uncomfortable. And here is something most people never talk about. When you keep working towards your goals, while others stay stuck in negativity, it disrupts the story they told themselves about The story where you were supposed to stay small, the story where you were supposed to stay quiet, the story where they will write about you. But life has a strange way of rewriting those stories. Because while they were busy watching and judging, you were quietly building momentum, day by day, step by step. And even when progress felt slow, something inside you kept moving forward. Now, here's the part that might surprise you. Success rarely appears suddenly. It grows silently first, like a seed underground. For a long time, nothing seems to be happening. People look at the surface and think nothing's growing there. But underneath, roots are forming, strength is developing, a foundation is being built, and one day the growth finally breaks through the surface. Suddenly, people say, wow, that happened fast. But you know the truth. It didn't happen fast. It happened after years of unseen effort. After nights when you kept going even when nobody believed in you. After every moment when you had every reason to quit, but you chose to try again. And this is where another realization begins to emerge. Some of the people who doubted you will eventually see you rising again. They will see things starting to work in your favor. They'll see opportunities appearing. They'll hear about your progress. And they'll feel something they didn't expect, a shock. Because the version of you they created in their mind was never the real you. They only saw your difficult season. They never saw your resilience. They only saw your setbacks. They never saw your persistence. They only saw the moment you stumbled. They never imagined the strength it took for you to stand back up. But there's another layer to this journey that most people overlook. Your growth was never meant to prove them wrong. Your growth was meant to prove something to yourself. To remind you that you're capable of rising again. To show that your setbacks don't erase your potential. To teach you that faith in yourself becomes stronger every time you refuse to quit. Because the truth is, the real transformation happened inside you long before any internal success appeared. You became stronger, you became wiser, you became more focused, and the version of you that exists today is far more powerful than the one who first started this journey. Now pause for a moment and think about something. Remember the time when you felt like everything was falling apart? The moments when you thought you were losing? What if those moments were actually redirecting you towards something better? What if every disappointment quietly pushes you towards the path you were meant to walk? Because sometimes the things that don't work out are protecting you from something that wouldn't have fulfilled you anyway. And sometimes the delay is simply life preparing you for something bigger than you expected. This is why people who try to hold you back never really understand your story. They see the struggle, but they miss the transformation. They see the obstacles, but they miss the growth. They see the past, but they can't see the future unfolding in front of you. And here's the beautiful part of this journey. Everything they thought would bury you actually became the soil that helped you grow. Every doubt they threw your way became motivation. Every criticism became fuel. Every setback became a lesson. You turned difficult into strength. You turn pressure into focus. You turn doubt into determination. And that is something no one can take away from you. Because when a person learns how to transform negativity into growth, they become unstoppable. Not because life becomes easy, but because they know how to keep rising no matter what happens. So if you're still in the middle of your journey right now, if things haven't fully unfolded yet, remember this. The story isn't finished. The breakthrough doesn't always arrive when people expect it. Sometimes it appears right after the moment when everyone else stops believing. And when it does, you won't need to prove anything to anyone. Your life will simply speak for itself. Because the person who was once underestimated, the person who was once doubted, the person who was once counted out, will quietly become the person people never saw coming. Not through bitterness, but through growth. Through the quiet power of someone who refused to give up on themselves. And one day, you'll look back at everything you went through, the setbacks, the rejection, the uncertainty, and you will realize something profound. None of it was wasted. Every moment was shaping the strength you carry today. Every challenge was preparing you for the life you stepped into. And the very thing that once made you question yourself will become the reasons you trusted more than ever before.